What's up guys, John Lorenzo from Lorenzo Fitness here, and today we're going to talk about the 5 things that are keeping you from making them natty gains. Okay, so when it comes to building a physique, there are certain key factors that are going to keep you growing, keep you in the hypertrophy, keep you developing strength. So, those factors are the amount of rest you get, your training routine, the styles. Of course, your nutrition is very important. 3. 4, how often you're training, the intensity of your workout, and what's 5? How often are you sleeping? They say that squatting and deadlifting give you anabolic hormones when you do them because they're so much of a stressor on your body. Personally, in my opinion, I think sleep is going to be the only time that you recover, because you're literally in a state of recovery when you go to bed. You release HGH when you go to bed, of course, growth hormone. You're recovering in that, in those cycles of sleep. So it's very important to get a good, restful, long sleep. So 2, the style of training that you're doing. What exactly are you doing? Are you including more volume, including more frequency? Are you strength training? Are you doing both? Are you doing only strength? Calisthenics. There's a lot of things that you could exercise in terms of whatever type of routine that you can do. So nothing's really quite out of the ballpark in terms of what you could do. I'm scratching because I don't got no pre-workout. You're wondering why you can't make any growth, why you don't see any results. Of course, some certain things have to change. Basically, there's 3 things. I had to think about that for a little bit. 3 things that are basically going to determine the growth of your muscle fibers. How much you're recruiting, how many muscle fibers you're recruiting. 2, the load or the weight, and of course the volume. So nutrition is very important. It's, in my mind, 70% of it, of the battle, of course, in making a physique. So of course you're gonna want to know, how much protein do you need so that your body can rebuild? How much carbs do you need so that you feel adequate enough to fuel your body during a workout? And how much fat do you need to, of course, regulate your hormones in that sense? Because fat does play a role in regulating your hormones. So of course, there's that. Again, too, there are the 2 big ones too. Are you eating enough to where you're actually growing? Or are you not eating enough and you're not making any gains? So of course that has to be done in consideration too as well. So there's a lot of things to consider. Personally, I think, if you want to mess around, I would add or subtract 200 calories just to be safe and see what goes on from there. Experiment with your body. I'm choosing the bumpiest road right now to record. What's the intensity of your workout like? Are you only training for 30 minutes? Are those 30 minutes hard as hell? Or are you just skating by those 30 minutes? Are you training for an hour? Hour and a half, 2 hours? If you're training 2 hours at full intensity, but you just end up giving out like in the hour and a half, can you keep up the intensity of that workout? And I think most people think they work, I guess, from a range from, 1 to 5. 5 being very vigorous, very strenuous, to 1 being just walking in the park. I think most people train at a 2. maybe some at a 3. If you're going to look at elite athletes, I would say the closest that they would get is probably a 4. Because 5, you know, of course, with certain exercise tests that they're done at universities, of course, they're pushing these people, of course, for research purposes to at the limit, the absolute limit. So, of course, they're going to be fatigued. They might even pass out just because of how fast their heart rate is from doing, not like a sub-max test, but maybe more of like some max heart rate, I guess. Are those gonna be the hardest 30 minutes of your damn life, or are you going to skate by it? So of course there's things that you have to approach in that sense. So that's 4. And what 5 should be is not you, because that's bad. Because I think everybody has a chance. When I mean you in the sense of, what are you thinking about? What's your mental cognition when you go to train? Are you just going through the routines? Are you just going through the routines just as it is on paper? Are you doing different things to simulate something? And when I mean different things, I mean, are you, let's say for example, are you pausing at the bottom for bench press? Are you pausing on squats? Are you coming down slow? Are you working in an eccentric contraction? Are you holding a position, like for pull-ups, for example? Are you holding that isometric contraction and giving more stress on the muscle? So there are those things too. Honestly, I try to establish a mind-muscle connection every time when I try to come in, just so that I'm more aware of my surroundings and what I know, what feels right for me in that sense. And I would strongly encourage you to do the same. Don't just look at it as just a piece of paper. I know like most people type in, you know, they either see like a movie like The Dark Knight with like, I almost said Tom Brady. The dude with the huge traps, he's in Warrior. Huge. Oh, Tom Hardy. Okay. So they see Tom Hardy. Well, first they see Bane, like, oh, he's huge as fuck, hun. I don't know why you call him hun. He's huge as fuck, cuz. So how do I get big traps like that? Okay. Then they look up Bane workout or something, or they look up Captain America workout, or they look up Wolverine workout, like, because they're so impressed by these physiques. But it's not just what it is on paper. There's so many things that are going to create that physique. There's nutrition, which I've said. Rest, which I've said. Of course, some people are on that Dare Cell Tech, steroids, of course. But that doesn't matter. And of course, their techniques, their routines, they're not just going to be doing the same thing for days. They're either going to increase the weight, increase the time, increase the intensity, or do other things. So of course, you have to have a round sense of everything. So don't look at a routine as just something on a piece of paper. Really think about what you're doing, really think about the muscle you're hitting, and really think about you know, getting that mind-muscle connection and getting that contraction. So, genetics don't suck. You suck only if you don't put in the work. That is a terrible thing to end off with, but anyone can do it. You just have to know what to do. Visit my website at www.lfittraining. I'll put up some tips there. More deadlift tips, more squat tips, and of course more bench press tips. Have a good weekend, guys.